As an endocrinologist, one of the most common and emotionally draining situations I see in older adults across the United States starts the same way every morning. A patient over 60 wakes up early, does everything right, eats a light dinner, avoids sweets, maybe even takes a short walk after eating, and still sees their fasting blood sugar sitting at 145, 155, sometimes higher when they check it before breakfast. What hurts them most isn't the number itself, it's the confusion. They sit at the kitchen table staring at the meter, wondering what they did wrong, quietly blaming themselves for something they don't understand. Many tell me they feel like their effort doesn't count anymore. This is a very real problem for older Americans, especially those who value discipline and independence. They are not careless people. They are often the most consistent patients I treat. But after 60, the body changes how it manages energy overnight, and no one explains this clearly enough. When blood sugar is high in the morning, people assume it must be from something they ate. Yet the truth is that much of that sugar comes from the liver while they sleep. The body releases glucose at night to keep the brain and organs running, and with age, insulin simply doesn't move that sugar into cells as smoothly as it used to. The result is higher fasting numbers, morning fatigue, dry mouth, and a sense of failure that isn't deserved. This leads many seniors to restrict food further, skip evening nourishment, or go to bed hungry, which often makes the problem worse. They don't realize their body is responding to stress, not disobedience. Understanding this reality is critical, because once people realize their morning blood sugar is not a personal flaw, but a predictable body response, they stop feeling defeated and start becoming open to solutions that actually fit their daily lives. When I explain what truly happens inside the body at night, I always start by correcting one simple misunderstanding. Sleeping does not mean your body shuts down. In fact, nighttime is one of the busiest periods for your internal systems, especially after age 60. While you are resting, your brain still needs a steady supply of energy to control breathing, heart rate, temperature, and memory processing. To make sure that energy is available, your body relies on the liver. The liver acts like a quiet backup generator, releasing small amounts of sugar into the bloodstream throughout the night. This process is normal and necessary for survival. The problem begins when insulin, the hormone responsible for moving sugar out of the blood and into your cells, no longer works efficiently. As we age, insulin becomes slower and less responsive, particularly during sleep. Muscle cells, which normally absorb a large portion of glucose, are less active at night and less sensitive to insulin signals. That means the sugar released by the liver has fewer places to go. Instead of entering cells to be used as fuel, it lingers in the bloodstream. By early morning, this buildup shows up as higher fasting blood sugar readings, even if you didn't eat anything after dinner. This is why so many older adults wake up confused and discouraged, feeling like their body is working against them. Another key factor is stress hormones. When the body senses even mild stress, such as going to bed hungry, sleeping poorly, or feeling anxious, it releases hormones that signal the liver to produce more sugar. This response made sense when humans needed extra energy to survive danger, but in modern life, it often backfires. Skipping food at night or cutting calories too aggressively can make the liver panic, releasing more glucose than necessary. Poor sleep compounds this effect. Shallow or interrupted sleep keeps stress hormones elevated, which further weakens insulin's ability to do its job. There is also the issue of nutrient depletion. Many adults over 60 are low in key minerals that help insulin function smoothly. When these nutrients are lacking, insulin struggles to guide sugar into cells, especially overnight when the body is supposed to be repairing and rebalancing itself. Instead of restoration, the night becomes a period of quiet imbalance. Blood sugar drifts upward, nerves don't recover as well, and the body wakes up already under strain. Understanding this process is empowering because it removes blame. High morning blood sugar is not proof that you failed. It is feedback from a body that needs different nighttime support than it did years ago. When people grasp that their liver, hormones, sleep quality, and insulin are all interacting while they rest, the mystery fades. The goal becomes clear. Calm the body at night, support insulin while you sleep, and allow those natural systems to work together instead of competing. I often remind my patients that aging does not break the body, but it does change how the body responds to stress, food, and rest. This is especially true after age 60, and it explains why older adults experience blood sugar problems more easily than younger people, even when their habits look similar. The difference is not effort, it is physiology. Over time, several quiet shifts happen inside the body, and together they make blood sugar harder to control, particularly overnight and in the early morning. One of the biggest changes is muscle loss. Muscle is the primary place where blood sugar is stored and used. In younger adults, muscles actively pull sugar out of the bloodstream, even at rest. After 60, muscle mass naturally declines, especially in the legs. Less muscle means fewer storage spaces for sugar. When sugar has nowhere to go, it stays in the blood longer. This alone can raise fasting blood sugar by 10 to 20 milligrams per deciliter over time, even without changes in diet. Many older adults don't realize that feeling weaker or slower is directly connected to how their body handles glucose. Sleep quality is another major factor. Younger people tend to fall into deeper, more restorative sleep more easily. Older adults often sleep lighter, wake up more frequently, or struggle to stay asleep. Poor sleep keeps stress hormones elevated through the night. These hormones signal the liver to release extra sugar, while at the same time making insulin less effective. This creates a perfect storm for higher morning readings. It is not uncommon for someone over 60 to see a much higher fasting number after a restless night, even if they ate very little the evening before. Nutrient absorption also changes with age. The digestive system becomes less efficient, meaning older adults absorb fewer minerals that support insulin function. Even with a decent diet, the body may not get what it needs to help insulin work smoothly. When insulin is weakened, especially at night, blood sugar control suffers. This is not something most people are told, yet it plays a significant role in age-related glucose issues. Finally, the nervous system becomes more sensitive to stress. Emotional worry, physical discomfort, and even dehydration can trigger stronger hormonal responses in older adults. These responses were meant to protect us, but now they often raise blood sugar unnecessarily. When you put all of this together, less muscle, lighter sleep, weaker insulin response, and higher stress sensitivity, it becomes clear why people over 60 face these challenges more than younger adults. Understanding this reality replaces self-blame with clarity and opens the door to smarter, age-appropriate solutions. I see the same well-intended mistakes repeated by older adults across the United States, not because they are careless, but because the advice they've followed for years no longer fits their bodies after 60. One of the most common errors is believing that going to bed hungry will automatically lower blood sugar. Many seniors skip any evening nourishment, thinking fewer calories must mean better numbers. In reality, an empty system often signals stress to the body. When the brain senses a lack of available energy, it triggers the liver to release more sugar overnight, not less. This leads to higher fasting readings and restless sleep, leaving people confused and frustrated the next morning. Another frequent mistake is cutting carbohydrates aggressively without balancing protein or healthy fats. Older adults are often told to fear carbs, so dinner becomes too light or incomplete. Without enough protein or fat, blood sugar drops too quickly in the evening, which again activates stress hormones. These hormones weaken insulin's ability to work properly at night. The result is a sugar surge in the early morning hours. The intention is discipline, but the outcome is instability. Many seniors also focus almost entirely on breakfast and lunch, believing nighttime doesn't matter as long as they eat clean during the day. This overlooks the fact that blood sugar regulation is a 24-hour process. What happens in the last few hours before sleep strongly influences how the body behaves at dawn. Ignoring this window means missing the most important opportunity to calm the liver and support insulin overnight. Another quiet mistake is misinterpreting morning blood sugar as a moral scorecard. People wake up, see a high number, and immediately assume they failed. This mindset creates anxiety, which raises stress hormones and worsens blood sugar control the following night. Over time, this cycle erodes confidence and leads to extreme restrictions that further disrupt metabolism. Finally, many older adults underestimate the role of sleep and hydration. Poor sleep and mild dehydration are common after 60 and both concentrate sugar in the bloodstream. Without addressing these basics, no diet adjustment can fully succeed. These mistakes are understandable, but once corrected, many people see improvements quickly, not because they tried harder, but because they worked with their bodies instead of against them. When I talk about the right approach for controlling blood sugar after 60, I always emphasize one guiding principle: calm the body at night. Don't punish it during the day. Many older adults believe progress comes from stricter rules, fewer calories, and more self-control. In reality, the aging body responds far better to reassurance than restriction. Blood sugar stability is not about forcing numbers down. It's about creating conditions where the body feels safe enough to regulate itself. Nighttime is when this approach matters most. During sleep, the body is meant to repair insulin sensitivity, calm the nervous system, and restore balance. When someone goes to bed overly hungry, dehydrated, or anxious about their numbers, the body interprets that state as stress. Stress hormones rise, the liver releases extra glucose, and insulin becomes less effective. By morning, blood sugar is higher and the cycle continues. The solution is not to eat less or worry more, but to send the opposite signal before bed. A small, balanced evening routine can make a powerful difference. Providing the body with a modest amount of protein and healthy fat tells the brain that energy is available and there is no need for emergency sugar release. This does not mean a large snack or late-night eating. It means a calm, intentional choice that supports the body's natural rhythm. Many people see improvement within days simply by changing how they end their day, not how they restrict it. During the daytime, the goal shifts from control to consistency. Eating regular meals, staying hydrated, and moving gently help muscles absorb sugar without forcing insulin to work harder. There is no need for extreme exercise or rigid schedules. Walking, light strength work, and everyday movement are enough to support glucose use. When the body senses stability during the day, it is less reactive at night. This approach also reduces fear. When people stop treating blood sugar as a constant battle, stress levels drop. Lower stress means lower cortisol, and lower cortisol allows insulin to function more effectively. Over time, fasting numbers become steadier, sleep improves, and energy returns. The body begins to trust its environment again. The key is respect, not resistance. Aging changes the rules, but it does not remove the possibility of balance. By calming the night and supporting the day, older adults work with their physiology instead of fighting it. That is where sustainable blood sugar control truly begins.